Good morning, second grade. This is Monday, October the 12th, and we're going to be talking about place value today. So let me share my screen. All right, here are our slides for today. Like I said, today is October the 12th, and our learning target today is that the student will understand that 100 is a collection of tens and that multiples of 100 have no tens or ones. All right. Now, let's use the virtual manipulatives to count sets of 10. All right, so we have already worked with tens and ones, okay? And we know that 10 ones, which are the little units, makes a broad or a set of 10. So now we're working with, once we have 10 rods or groups of 10. So here are my 10 rods. Eight, 9, 10. So once I have 10 rods or groups of 10 in my tens place, what do I do? Because we know that we can only have 9. So let's count those groups of 10. Now remember, when we count groups of 10, we're counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so we now have a group of 100. So we can get rid of those, and now we have one set of 100. Because as you can see, if I counted all these columns, there would be 10 columns or 10 rods. So I now have a group of 100. All right, so now if I have, let's say in this problem, let me erase this. I have 1, 2, 3 ones, 2 sets of 10, and 2 sets of 100. Okay, so remember, each of these is 100. So I have 1, 2 sets of 100. So my number would be 223, okay, because I have 2 sets of 100, 2 sets of 10, and 3 ones. 223. Okay, so let's go again. All right, so what is my number now? Take a look at it for a moment. See what you think it might be. Okay, 300, because I have 3 groups of 100. I have 1 group of 10, so and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, so it would be 315. All right, now, the question is, how many sets of 10 do I have in this number? How many sets of 10? I do have 1 set of 10 here, right? But I also have all these sets of 10 in here. So how many sets of 10 do I have in this 100? We just talked about that. We said we have 10 sets of 10, right? Which makes 100. So if I have 10 sets of 10 here, 10 sets of 10 here, and 10 sets of 10 here, that's 10, 20, 31. So I have 31 sets of 10 in this number. Okay, so 315 has 10, 20, 31 sets of 10 because we had to make sets of 10 for these to make 100. All right, now move my picture over here. Let's look at how many tens and ones there are in multiples of 100. Okay, so here we are with our mat, and I am going to, here's our hundreds place, here's our tens place, here's our ones place, okay? If it's a multiple of 100, okay, I could put one set of 100, two sets of 100. Okay, so here's the number 200, okay? Are there any tens in my tens place or any ones in my ones place? No, because it's a multiple of 100. But we do know that each of these hundreds has how many sets of 10 in it? Think about that for a minute. Each of these sets of 100 has 10 tens in it, okay? So if we go back to here, and I have 200, okay? Because remember, there's no tens in the tens place. There's no ones in the ones place when I'm doing multiples of 100 or counting by 100. So 100, 200, 300, 400. Those all do not have any tens or ones in the tens or ones place. But the hundreds place has groups of 10 to make its hundreds. So there's 10 tens here and 10 tens here. So in the number 200, there are actually 20 sets of 10 because 10 here, 10 here, 10, 20, there's 20 sets of 10. But we know those tens are not in the tens place, right? They're here in the hundreds place. All right, let's try that again. Let's say I do one set of 100, two sets of 100, three sets of 100, four sets of 100. Okay, so now I have the number 400, which we know in the number 400, there are no tens in the tens place and no ones in the ones place. These are zeros. We have to put those zeros there to mark those spots, okay? Because even though there's nothing there, we still know that we have to have a tens place, we have to have a ones place. So that's why the zeros are there. Now, we have one set of 100, two sets of 100, three sets of 100, four sets of 100. So let's go back to our other screen. Okay, now there are our four sets of 100. Again, we have nothing in the tens place and nothing in the ones place, but that doesn't mean we don't have any tens, right? We have those tens within the hundreds because we bundled 10 tens here, 10 tens here, 10 tens here, and 10 tens here to make 100, okay? So we actually have 10, 20, 30, 40 sets of 10, 40 sets of 10. But they're not in the tens place. They are in the hundreds place because we have now grouped them together to make 100. All right, go back to our slideshow. All right, now here's the question. How many sets of 10 can we have in the tens place? All right, so remember, if we go back to here, I told you that once we can only have 9 rods in the tens place, right? Once we get that 10th one, we have to make 100. Okay, and how many ones can we have in the ones place? Well, again, if I go back to here, once we have 10 of the units in the ones place, remember we can only have 9, we can't have 10, we then group them together to make a rod or a group of 10. All right, everyone, we will continue working on this. It is something that we're just kind of starting with 3 digits, but I did want to start that with you and explain to you that 10 groups of 10 make 100. So once we have those 10 rods in the tens place, we have to regroup it and make a 100. All right, have a good day.